So I hope you all have another document called lab sheet for the for the week 1, right? So can you see my screen now? For the low birth weight study, IS 1006, can you see?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So this is the introduction to the dataset. So usually when we are doing an analysis, the first thing is to get some idea about the variable. So since you are first years, most probably you may not familiar with those steps, but when you are getting to your second year or third year, you are going to do a statistics for your for in the third year and fourth year, you will get familiar with those things. So when the first thing is to do research about those variables and get familiar with those things, and that is the best way to do a proper and a meaningful analysis, right? Without knowing these what they are, we can't blindly do analysis, right? So in this case, we just for the uh, this practical session, we don't need such a knowledge. So that is why I have given you a very simple explanation about those data, right? So it consists of there are several variables: ID, the identification code, low, age. Those are some variables, and you can basically go through these things, and you can see the race here. This is the yeah, it is a categorical variable since we have three categories, and this data set belongs to a foreign country. So you can see the race is white, black. It definitely belongs to a foreign country. So this is the introduction to the data set. So let's try some activities from this based on this data set, right? Okay. All right. So all right. Before going to do some activities, I like to give you a brief introduction about the data visualization, because after giving you an introduction to the Minitab, so my plan is to give you an idea about the data visualization. Especially today, my target is to cover the bar chart and the pie chart, right? So in the upcoming lectures, the next few weeks, most probably I will continue. I will go through the rest of the bar types, right? So as I start, uh, I will go through today. I will go through the bar chart and also the pie chart and also the different types of bar charts here. So I think Madam has already talked you about those bar charts and the pie charts. So let me see what I can tell you. Okay. So, all right. So if I give you an small description about data visualization, so you can see in the let me see, see how my data view. So in here, you can see all the data in a tabular forms, like some kind of a table, and there are plenty of data. And while looking at this table kind of thing, we can't get a better idea about data, right? That is why we are going for the data visualization. Actually, data visualization gives us a clear idea about the data set. So I tell you some kind of example. So I think I hope definitely you all did your A levels recently. So when learning subjects like chemistry, you know there are a lot of theories, but when studying chemistry, I think most of you have prepared some short notes, right? Using different colors, different charts, right? And different colors. Why is that? Because those colors and charts are more familiar to the human mind, right? Okay, so these arts and those colors are very familiar to human mind. That is why that kind of advantage can be obtained from this statistic world also. So instead of just looking at this table type data, if we can go one step or two step ahead and try to uh, depict those data in graphs or chats, graphs or charts, it is better to get a clear idea about the data. So it helps to identify trends, patterns, and also outliers. So don't think about those words. So you will definitely learn about those words in the future, right? So okay. So uh, I hope my writing is not clear, but okay. So before going to the practical session, I like to give let me see, some theories, not actual theories, some facts about the data visualization. So before visualizing data, there must be a factor which you should think about. So the first thing is the type of the variable, right? So basically there are two types of variable: numerical variables and category variables. So numerical variables are the variables which you can measure: your height, your weight, likewise, right? So the category variable is the something you can count, right? So your gender, you can count how many females in this lecture and how many males student in the lecture. So likewise, so they are categorical. So before representation, so those data, we want to know the type of the variable. So the first, based on those types, we can have five main types of representing data, right? I'm going to write it, but I'm sorry about my writing. So here I don't have notepad. So it's better, instead of writing, I will tell, right? So then you can have your own notes, right? The first thing is the numerical type of data, and the second one is the categorical type data, and third one is the numerical and numerical. That is also when we have these first two types are belongs to one category, and the rest of the three types belongs to one category, because under the first two things we are considering about only one variable, but the rest of the three variables we are considering about two variables. That is why I'm saying the third one is the numerical and numerical. Fourth one is the categorical and categorical, and the last one is the numerical and categorical. The combination between two variables. So now for today I'm going to talk about the categorical one. Let me type it. Otherwise, right, so numerical, the second one, and the fourth one, categorical versus category. This is the and sign, and okay. So for today, I'll go through this categorical type. I'll go through how to visualize categorical type variable, and also I for using two or more variables, I'll go through how to visualize categorical and categorical type variables, right? Okay. Now I'm going to share the Minitab screen with you. Okay. And based on the lectures, and you know what are the bar charts and pie charts, right? So anyhow, also if we have more categorical data, we can go for a bar chart or pie chart. And if we have more categorical variables, if you want to do a comparison between two or more categorical variables, then we can go to the complex things. Okay, all right. So when you think about the bar charts, you know there are two types, mainly the vertical bar charts and also the horizontal bar charts, right? So in horizontal bar charts, you can see the bars are in horizontal way, and in the vertical bar charts, you can see in these see bars in the vertical way, right? So let me open the madam's note. I think it's better. Give me a second, right? So I hope you all can see the screen, right? This is the madam's note, right? So I'm going to explain you the bar charts here. So I hope madam also went through those slides, right? Give me a second, please. Okay, so in bar charts, length of the bars are proportional to the values, right? So values mean the count, percentage, and ratios all, etc. So when we think about in bar charts, we can see mainly three bar charts: the simple one, simple bar charts, component bar charts, and multiple bar charts. So simple bar charts are in the category that I previously told you that there are 5 different categories. So the first one is the numerical, second one is the categorical one, and the simple bar chart belongs to that category. If you want to uh, if you want to represent a categorical variable, we can use this simple bar chart. So the next one, if next two things, if we want to represent a categorical and all two categorical variables or two or more categorical variables, we can go for component bar charts or multiple bar charts. So let's see how to do those things in the Minitab, right? Now I'm going to share the Minitab screen with you. Hope you all can see my screen, right? Oh, so now, okay, so now there are different 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there are altogether 11 variables, right? So this ID variable is just the identification one. So next 10 are the variables. So in among those 10 variables, there are some of them are categorical and some of them are numerical, right? That means continuous variable. So low. So can anyone tell me what type of variable is low? You can go through the lab sheet, right? Then you can go through this little explanation from about the law. Then you will realize what it was. Is if it categorical one or a numerical one? Can someone answer me? It's okay if you can use the chat. I'm asking about the law, right? The law, variable law.